Hey, Plumbing Bros, how you doing? Hey, Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber here with episode number 150 of Potty Talk Live. Wow, 150. Hey, and this is a special one. You don't want to miss this episode because we have a branding expert in the house. Hey, I want to ask him the questions like what I should put on my van. You ever ask yourself, should I have everything I do listed on my van?
I think you should have the guys on the
Yeah.
toilet.
Thank you. The lovely Laura says, I know you made that argument. Should I pick the guy that's, the toilet is next to the driver's door there, so it looks like I'm sitting on a toilet. That's a great brand. Is that good branding? Hey, well, we're gonna ask our branding expert, Mr. Dan Antonelli of KickCharge Creative. He's the man. Okay, he'll be able to answer all of our branding questions. So stick around because we start right now.
You have entered the Plumbing Business Success Zone, teaching entrepreneurs the business of plumbing. This is Potty Talk Live, recorded live on Facebook every week. Type 5 in the comments to subscribe to the show. And now your host, Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber.
Hey, welcome to Potty Talk Live. Hey, this is our 150th episode of Potty Talk Live. All right, we've been doing it. Hey, this is the Plumbing Business Success Zone. That's right, we've been in the Plumbing Business Success Zone where we teach the business of plumbing, and especially tonight, we're going to be talking about the branding side of your plumbing business. We have the branding expert in Mr. Dan Antonelli of KickCharge Creative is going to be joining us here. Hey, he's going to be dropping nuggets of gold. So bring your branding questions. Hey, I'm going to be hitting up on some stuff here. So we were talking, the lovely Laura's in the house here. She just reminded me, I know we had the big argument with our branding on whether or not we should have had should we put the toilet? They put the toilet on the driver's side of your truck. I wanted to put the toilet there, but she said, the lovely Laura said, no, you shouldn't put the toilet there. So it looks like I'm sitting on the toilet. Well, I'm going to ask the guy. I'm going to ask the expert if that would be a good idea or not. Okay, when we have him in here. I don't know. He may side with me. This guy knows, so I'm going to find out. Okay. Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome to Potty Talk Live. Yeah, come on in. Hey, if you're watching live, come on in. Relax. Take a seat. If you are watching live, please type live in the comments. Let us know you're watching live. If you're watching the replay, type replay in the comments so we can know you watch this on the replay. And if you're listening to the podcast, you know what to do. Just keep on listening. And you don't ever want to miss an episode of Potty Talk Live. In fact, to never miss an episode of Potty Talk Live, type 5. All right, the number 5 in the comments. All right, so you can see this is the 150th episode of Potty Talk Live. That means, there's going to be huge nuggets of gold being dropped on this episode, but there's 149 other episodes of just nuggets of gold, wealth for your plumbing business. So you can go back and check out those. And also, if you subscribe, you can be notified when we're going live. I know you're busy, you're working, you're doing stuff. So, hey, if you type 5 in the comments, all right, you'll be notified when we're going live. All right, so you never miss an episode of Potty Talk Live. Hey, and for never missing an episode of Potty Talk Live, I got something special for you, just for you. Hey, check it out. Struggling to win with your plumbing business? My $1 Million Plumber Playbook, How to Win the Plumbing Business Game. It details all the right moves you got to make to be a successful plumbing entrepreneur and ultimately a plumbing business champion. In this free 10-video e-course, I share with you my game-winning strategies that took me from one-truck rookie to multi-truck, multi-million-dollar plumbing business Hall of Famer. Click the link below and grab your free playbook e-course now and get your game on. That's right. Get your game on, all right? Get my playbook. 10 video set, all right? And it's free. It's free. All the right moves you got to make to have a successful plumbing business. All right, I even mentioned a little branding in there, okay? But it's free to you. Simply type free in the comments, FREE in the comments to get your free playbook. Or if you're listening, you can simply go to freeplaybooknow.com, freeplaybooknow.com to get your free playbook now. All right, how about that? Hey, all right. Hey, lovely Laura's in the house. How you doing, baby? All right, good to see you. We're touching base here. I know we've been going. You doing all right?
Doing great. Looking forward to hearing from Dan tonight.
All right, I'm going to hit him up. And truly, I'm going to ask him about the toilet thing. I think he's going to be on my side. Yeah. Well, let's get him in here. All right, Mr. Dan Antonelli. All right, KickCharge Creative. How you doing, brother?
What's up, bro? What's happening?
Hey, Good to see you.
Do I really have to settle the toilet question?
You got it. Okay, this is I guess this is for our marriage here, okay? Our partnership here. So it's on the line. It's up to you. I say when it comes to branding that it's good to have that. I want to have that toilet on the side of my door, okay? So it looks like, I'm sitting on the toilet as I'm driving. I think that's good branding. But the lovely Laura says, no, that's not maybe the best image that we want to portray. What do you say?
I think I got to go with the lovely Laura on this one.
What? All right. Okay. I know that is a word. I know. We know that. So Dan, hey, it's good to see you. Thanks for being on Potty Talk Live here. It's always good to be talking with you here. And so we're gonna be talking with branding, and branding is a big issue, as you know, dealing with the guys. And so, what is it with this kind of stuff? I know we get all excited. I know what it's like. I got my truck. I went through this. I got my truck, and I'm now I got my business. I'm out there, and I'm gonna take over the plumbing world. And so, I want to come up with a cool name or like I wanted to call it, Richard's Plumbing, and that's Richard, like my name's real big, Richard's Plumbing. And of course, I want to seat there, that kind of a thing. So, we do get wrapped up in there, but is it, and there's a tendency to, I wanted to put all the things that I do on my truck, I want to list everything that I do, and,
Don't forget the Facebook logo.
And all the Facebook, okay, right, and all the stuff all over it. What makes for good branding for our plumbing businesses?
So, branding, it's this term, it's this big term that people throw around, and it sounds like it's really complicated, right? But it's really not very complicated at all. If you think about it in the simplest terms, it's basically, what would somebody say about your business if they were talking about your business to someone else? So if they're at a party and they're saying, hey, I did work with Richard's Plumbing, how would they describe that experience? How would they describe working with your company? It's basically what people say about you behind your back is almost one way to look at branding. And then people get confused about how logos, they confuse logos with branding. And they say, oh, well, my logo is my brand. Well, a logo is essentially the central part of your brand. If you think about it as like a wheel, so the spokes around that wheel are all the elements that make up your brand, and the whole wheel is really your brand. But the hub is really your logo, because everything drives from there, everything builds from there. So around the wheel, you've got your website, your truck wraps, your uniforms for the guys, your social media presence. And then even your brand voice, like how do you speak about your brand? Like if your brand was a living person, would it use exclamation points? Would it sound a certain way? Would it have a certain attitude? Those are all elements that comprise that brand. So, that's the way we really try to think about it, is for someone who knows nothing about your business, what are the impressions that they have of it? Like if you handed out your business card to them, what would they say? Would they say, oh, this is a professional company, this looks like they do great work? Or would they say, I don't know if they do great work because I can't really tell from looking at their brand. Maybe they have a negative impression. Maybe they feel like, I'm not sure if they're going to do a good job. So what a good brand really tries to do is answer those questions ahead of time. So you hand out that card and right away they think, wow, this must be a really good company. Or this must be very professional, or these guys are going to come in, they're going to be honest, and they're going to treat me right. You got to remember, most consumers have a negative predisposition against contractors. So they are already afraid that maybe someone's going to come in and take advantage of them. So why don't we hit them dead on with a message that already puts them at ease? And then when you ring that doorbell, you live up to that. You live up to that promise of doing the right thing. So.
Oh, Dan, guys, Dan just laid a huge nugget of gold there. We love plumbing. Yeah, we love plumbing, and we feel, well, I'm a good plumber. I'm the best, and I let my plumbing do the speaking. But for me. But here's the thing: no one wakes up in the morning and wants to call a plumber. No one wants to spend money with a plumber. And Dan, I agree with you. I can say this: being in the field, there's a negative connotation about plumbers. We do look like guys that would ride around on a toilet. Okay. We do look like we're going to take advantage of people, that we're hard to trust, that we're dirty, we're stinky,
we're butt crack plumbers. That is, I know it doesn't sound PC and it's not fair, and it doesn't matter whether it's fair or PC or not. It is, they judge a book by its cover. So we do have that reputation. So we do need to go at it a different way. So, one of the questions I was going to ask you, just a little facetiously, does it really matter what our brand looks like? And I think I already heard you. I think it does matter what our brand looks like.
Yeah. And it matters for everything. It matters not only just from that consumer perception, but it also impacts all your advertising and all your marketing. So make sure you have all those things in place before you start promoting your website and driving traffic to your website and things like that. Like one of the things that drives me crazy is, other digital marketing companies promoting websites that have awful brands. So we're going to spend all this money and we're going to direct all this traffic to your website, and then we're going to lead them to the front door, and that front door doesn't communicate all the reasons why that consumer should do business with you. So what are we doing here? Why are we spending all this money on that when all of our ROI is being diminished because our brand is getting in the way? Like if you were selling your house and you were going to have an open house, right? And you're advertising like crazy to have people come to your house to buy your house. Don't you think you're going to vacuum and clean up the house before they ring the doorbell?
Right.
So invest in that brand.
So you just said you're going to bake cookies too, right?
Yeah. So invest in that brand as the first step, and then start spending money on advertising. Don't do, it's kind of backwards, So like, a lot of guys, they're bootstrapped as a startup, and I totally understand that. But at a certain point, you got to make sure that the brand communicates all the things that you're doing well, that looks as professional. The people that we do work for, I love doing work for them because I know they're doing great work. They have a great service, they're really doing the right thing. But you can't get there by judging them on their truck or their uniforms or their business cards or their website. So when you could marry up how great your service is with how good you actually look, then it's a home run. Then you ring that doorbell and everything matches up. They expect the best because you already look the best. And what the crazy thing is it's not hard to actually look better than your competitors, because most of your competitors have no idea what they're doing in that space.
Ding, ding, ding. There's a huge nugget of gold right there. And I'm talking with and Bob, I'm proud that I'm with the little guys, so we're talking, I'm like Bob, the Smell Good Plumber. How about the, Smell Good Plumber? And so we have these little guys that are coming out, wanting to become big guys. And I get the whole budget thing. And with coaching the guys and in the training, look, Dan, I totally agree with you that the branding is huge. It is almost as big. I agree. Why make the phone ring? A lot of us guys I just want to get the phone to ring, but we send them to, some sloppy looking site that looks like, I'm going to kill you, because it's Killer's Plumbing, that kind of a thing. And so, but I'm making the phone ring, and it's a waste of time. But on the branding, so the guys don't think the branding ties to the business or doesn't, has nothing to do about plumbing. But that's exactly right. It has nothing to do with plumbing. So it is that line with the guys, the small companies, to get them to, I'm kind of stuck in the middle. I like to push. In fact, I know you've worked with a couple of my clients who right out of the gate have gone to branding, which then they've invested in that branding. They've done that, and they've grown their company just like that. And it's the branding that's helped to grow the company, along with the systems. But it's a frame of mind to be in.
The other piece too to think about, right, is the fact that you have guys that they lament the fact that they can't get the dollars that they want for the jobs that they're doing, right? So they're like, I want to get paid top dollar for my work. I know I'm doing high-end work, but they can't get there because from a consumer standpoint, they don't look like they deserve to be paid more than someone else. So why not look like you're a premium brand, and people feel a little bit better about maybe you being the highest estimate because, well, you know what? He's going to be in business next year if I have a problem with this water heater or this water softener or something like that, So you got to look the part. It's really hard to command the dollars when you just don't look like you should be getting the dollars, Do you want to look like, you're the cheapest guy, or do you want to look like you're a professional doing the right thing? So, that's, guys are really like, oh my God, I don't know why I can't get paid for my work. Well, does it look like you should be getting paid for your work? Is really the question.
Right. Well, my work is good. I'm the best plumber, and it's not about that's the thing. And here you speak with us, that Dan. I totally agree with you. Just coming from a guy that started in a beater truck with no money, and grew into a rather large, profitable plumbing business. I can tell you the key was. And we're going to show our brand because we sold our plumbing business, and you happen to work with a company who changed up the brand and did their own thing with it, my brand. But as soon as I went to some kind of branding, all of a sudden we're just a couple truck shop, and people are asking us, are you a franchise? We see you everywhere. You're all that. No, it's that brand. It's that thing. Yeah. And then I was able to charge what I thought, we talk about, figuring out what your hourly rate should be, but I was charging top dollar, just like all the big franchise companies were. And I was able to do that and get that because when we pulled up, we looked like we were worth that. There is something to that.
Yeah.
So, hey, I got Patrick here. Here's one of you. You worked with Patrick and Margaret out of San Francisco. Everything starts with your brand. Best investment we made with KickCharge. There we go. They got #rocket. You came up. We're going to show the work you did there and where that came from. Amazing. Yeah. And it's amazing. It's changed. And Patrick and Margaret are one of our clients. And we got to, so we get to hear the stories of even just making change in the brand, how that's affected their plumbing business. And it changes you overnight. It's a huge deal. But you're right.
And you touch upon something even just as talking about your own brand and what you had going for you. You had the foundation. You had some elements about your brand which were definitely working for sure, right? So we took some of that and we changed it around a bit and we improved it. But one of the things that you had going for you was a really good name. Okay, so the name itself already said something to me. It already said that you're doing something well. Okay, so this is where another problem where you see guys have names that don't communicate already a positive brand promise, right? So attaboy sounds like, hey, you know what? These guys are going to do the right thing. They're going to do the right thing, right? But you've got something like, H&S Heating and Air. Well, what does that mean? Like, what is that going to do? Like, so start with a name that actually exhibits a positive brand promise, and you're so much far ahead of the game. So yeah, there's the redesign. Again, good name, and we just fixed some of the challenges with it. We fixed a couple of things. We made it a little bit more legible, and the way that we did the truck on the new was just a little bit more impactful for sure.
Yep. Well, I think it's probably the worst work you've ever done. I personally don't like the changes. I thought the way that I did it was better, but hey, that's just me. I would have had the toilet on the side of the truck too, but
I think the truck is on there too somewhere.
But here's a good example, guys. Here's what, and we get this. We put our name on it, but it has to be an emotion. Dan, I don't know if this is the right way of putting it. What I talk with the guys is creating an emotion, because I know that residential service consumers choose and buy on emotion. The whole experience is an emotional experience. Yeah. So what I'm correct in kind of conveying it that way of talking emotion, of trying to convey an emotion. There. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Look at here's the difference. That's a nice, clean truck. We could be proud of that, and I know I would have felt proud of putting that. But look at that, the design there. Look how that's going to capture, your attention. Subconsciously driving down the road, I'm going to see that, and I'm going to feel good about it. And then when I go to Google plumbers in my area, and that comes up, I just for some reason I like them, and I'm going to choose them.
And it's all the other component to it, especially as it relates to the vehicles, is the idea of being disruptive, right? So you think about the landscape, you think about all the trucks that people are being hit with every day as they're driving to work, as they're on the highways, they're seeing all these different things competing for their attention. Well, what's the best way to disrupt that space that they're in and have them take a second look and do something different? So you can do that with color. Like the one that you're looking at there, the way it was before, it's not that it was bad. It was something that didn't also disrupt as well as what we came up with.
Everything looks red, white, and blue. But look at that, guys. Look at that.
So the colors for Century Air, who is using gold and teal? and orange as a brand color. No one. So, and that wasn't arbitrary that we came up with those brand colors for him. What we did is we researched all the competitors in his space, and we saw what the most prevalent colors were being used. And we said, well, I'm not going to pick a brand color that someone else is using in your space. I want to own our own brand colors. So every time you see those colors, you think about our brand. There's another nice before and after from McQuillan Brothers Plumbing out in Minnesota. You know, who else has an orange and brown plumbing band? Well, probably no one does. And that's good, because I want to own that. I want to make sure that we are the only ones that have that unique color scheme. That was a company too, their previous truck wrap, you know, it was okay, you know, but this happens to be the oldest plumbing company that's west of the Mississippi. So they were started in I can't see from here, 1870 something, I think. So why aren't we talking about the fact that we're the oldest company? Well, they're the oldest company in Minnesota for sure, but why aren't we leading in with that as something that makes us unique? So when we did that brand, that was another one. Here's another plumber for Ken's Faucet. You know, definitely one is standing out a lot more than the other. You know, that you could see some of the inherent flaws in the original one with too much lettering, too many like 2 phone numbers. Like why would we have 2 phone numbers on there? You know, another thing you see is like all the credit card logos and you know, Better Business logos or Facebook, like all that stuff. Like should be nothing else on the truck besides your name, your logo, obviously, and website. Phone numbers at this point are even becoming something that we're almost 50-50 about including, because again, most people aren't driving and are like, oh yeah, let me write down that phone number. They're just saying, hey Siri, call up this guy, or they're remembering the domain name.
Right, exactly. That's what the play is that you just want to, they just emotionally are tied, you know, subconsciously feel good with that. So when they Google plumbers or whatever, that your logo comes up, your name comes up, and there's just, it's that silly, guys. It's that, I don't know if silly is the best word. But
look at Cardinal. I mean, Cardinal's another one. Like, look at the before, and this is a big company based out of Seattle, and, you know, really awesome people, performed a great service, you know, huge company, but they blended, you know, really the vans blended. And even though people would say, oh, we see your vans all the time, that's fine. But you have to remember that when people say, oh, I see your vans all the time, it's more than just saying they see your vans. It's also the question of, well, what do the vans say about you? Yeah. As well. So you could make your vans pink and purple and people would say they see it all the time. But the question is what does it really say about your company as the other part of it? So the rebrands not only help from a consumer standpoint, but they also help even in terms of recruitment, like people that you're trying to hire. Like they want to work for a company that feels like they really have their act together as well. So we've seen a huge help for our clients after they rebrand in terms of even just recruitment, because, oh yeah, I want to work here. They got stuff going on, you know, like it's.
I'm glad you put it that is so simple. I talk with our clients all the time. We talk about this, and you know, the whole thing is it's so hard to find guys. Oh, guys are like, I can't find anybody. Well, first of all, it's a lie. That's how it's been for 30 years and always will be. But I always ask, why would they want to work for you in the first place? But it is so basic as it's amazing how I was even in my experience, as soon as I had better, you know, even just a nicer van and just did a nicer wrap, just what I had that that you took and went from, that you destroyed. Yeah. No, that's right. I had guys all of a sudden from other shops who wanted to come that were, looking at, are we hiring based on the truck, on the van? It is so important, guys. It is such a big deal. And what I like, I'm going to brag on Dan and, and KickCharge Creative here and why it's important. Look, you can go online and you can get, you can go to the Fivers and that kind of stuff and get a logo made. But Dan, he mentioned something, it's worth having someone take a look at what's going on in your market. What is the competition doing? And who understands, and it's a pretty big process you put these people through. I don't want to say that to scare anybody, but you really want to know who they are so that you can deliver that message and have that message come across in their branding. Isn't that right? Yeah.
I mean, the competitive analysis is especially important. Really trying to figure out who they typically compete against, where they live on a bid in sense of like when they bid on a job, where do they live? Are they usually the highest or the middle, or knowing where the other competitors are, even from a price standpoint too, so we can kind of look at their brand. But the irony is that when we do the competitive analysis and we look at who they're competing against, sometimes I'm like flabbergasted. I'm like, this is the biggest company in your area. Are you serious? This is what they're putting out on the street. This is what their vans look like. So I love it. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, because we're gonna blow them away. Like we're gonna totally look so much better than them.
A one truck company, guys. I want you to hear this. You can be a one truck company and you can blow the big company, the 30 truck company out of the water where you're at, just on your branding, just on that. It is that I've experienced it. Like I've experienced it. And it's just because that message that the consumer is feeling, they trust you, or they like you for something. That message is coming through, that emotion. They're just attracted to that emotion, that message.
Yeah.
There's right. It's beautiful, man.
That's not even the same company.
Look at,
We've done so many of those 1 or 2, 3 people operations, and after we're done with their van, people are like, "Oh my God, like you guys have 30 vans?" Like if you were to just judge them on what the van looked like, you're already leaping to the conclusion that, well, this company must already have 30 vans. And I laugh at it. I'm like, it's like 3 guys.
right.
I'll put it in front of someone. I'll say, how big do you think this company is? And they'll say, oh, it's probably like 15 or 20 vans. And I'm like, no, it's 3 people.
Right.
So that's how powerful it can be when it's done right. Yeah, there's the Attaboy van there.
Yeah. That's right. And I see it all over Indy. And you're working with another one of our clients here, Pristine Plumbing out of Indy. Hey, there she is. I can't. And what
Hey, Daryl.
you're going to do with that? That's going to be they're going to take over Indy. And I just know, because I know what's, of course, I know what's here. I know what and I know what you're going to be doing.
Daryl of Inception, they just got their design.
Yeah, just got their design. You did Inception Plumbing.
Yeah.
And it looks cool. And so you took a name. They've emotionally. That's a good. I think it's kind of a good story there. Inception Plumbing. They're emotionally tied. They had an emotion, but you played on that, and it looks like. I love. It looks like that. It looks like Inception Plumbing.
Right.
Yeah. That was a cool brand. Yeah, different. It was, that one was challenging because it's such an interesting name. But how do you design a logo that actually, when you look at it, you think about the word Inception, and there aren't a lot of specific visuals that immediately come to mind. But we actually were able to integrate the idea of a water drop and the Inception concept. So it was pretty neat. That one's pretty cool.
It is really cool. And already when they get that on their truck, and I think they're going to go with a Hackney truck and all. I mean, it looks cool. I saw it. They already look like a franchise. I mean, they already look like they own the place.
Yeah.
Area. I mean, it looks great, guys. This is good. Hey, I'm talking to my brothers and sisters out here. With your plumbing business, the branding is huge, and I know that there's a little bit of expense there. I'm not going to talk, because we're all, a little bit, but it is an investment. It's well worth it. I know, we're trying to measure. Do I spend all the money in SEO, or do I do this? And I we get it, right? But the branding thing is very important, because it's just what we're talking about. It's I love your example of the house. I think that's a great example, Dan. You're selling your house. Don't you clean the house up and get sweep the carpet and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, of course. Well, it's the same with your plumbing business. Man, great stuff. All right. But Dan, we have the link. So hey, guys, you want to check them out. I think we have the link posted on here. Okay, the link is posted. Hey, check them out. Hey, there's no hard, just go take a look at the other work. Set up a, I'm sure they can set something up to talk with you to, get an idea.
Sure.
Yeah. That kind of a thing. These guys, Dan and his crew are the best. It's worth it, to look at that. Again, this is your plumbing business. And this is literally can take you from looking like a, one truck Chuck, which is nothing wrong with, we all started there. Okay. But where they're seeing you all over town. I mean, just, and you must be a franchise, and man, there's so much there. So we've got to check them out. So you do have we have the link there.
Yep, it's posted in the
Okay, so it's posted in the comments, pinned in the comments there. So check it out. Hey, Iron Man, is Iron Man going to be checking it out?
That is a great, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. Iron Man. Iron Man is the name of the plumbing company. Iron Man Riley.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a cool name.
I may reconsider my design. Reconsider your design, Iron Man. I'm sure it's not. Just get a second opinion. Get a second opinion. I can tell you that right now. You'll be glad you did, man. Just do it. Okay, just do it. All right, you can come looking for me. All right, if it doesn't, it'll work out. All right, it'll more than work out. And Brother Dan, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Thanks, pal. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, I appreciate you taking the time. We'll look forward to talking with you again.
All right. Take care, guys.
Take care, man. All right, there we go. Dan Antonelli. All right, that's the man. Dan the man. KickCharge Creative. Guys, just do it. Check it out. Okay? Just check it out. It's worth it. Branding is extremely important, and you're worth it. Okay? You can do it. I just want to let you know, if you are out there doing this thing, you started in with the truck, you got your truck, all right, and you got a plumbing license and the dream, you can do it. All right? You can, and one of the things is this branding. Okay? It is important. Okay? And so, check it out. So take a look at that. All right? So I think it's about time. Hit type 5 to subscribe. I'm being reminded, just to remind you, there's a Potty Talk Live. You don't want to miss this stuff. Hey, go back and listen. Hey, Dan threw a lot of nuggets of gold down there. I mean, a lot of good stuff. Okay, so go back and listen. Okay, and I'm sure we're going to have Dan on again. Okay, the guys, as far as branding is a big deal to your plumbing business. Okay, right? Exactly. The days of slapping on a magnet. We live in an MTV world. I'm going to age myself a little bit here. But, it has to look good and has to look sharp. Okay. You're expected to do good plumbing, okay. This guy is, you're expected to score. We're on the field. You're expected to score. All right. But we got to look good doing it. Okay. Customers are judging. All right. But, always watching, the lovely Doris says. All right. Hey, I hear the music. About time to flush this episode of Potty Talk Live. Again, guys, you can do it. All right. You can do it. And you're worth looking good. That's you. All right. Also remind you
Thank you for tuning into Potty Talk Live with Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber. If you enjoyed this show, share it now. To catch past episodes and get alerts for new episodes, type 5 in the comment section now.
Just do it.
And join us again for more tips, techniques, and strategies to help you grow your plumbing business.